This week I went grocery shopping twice. Now, the first time, it was just for some stuff I needed. For me, grocery shopping is an indoor sport. You get the list together. You plan the route. You get to the store at the right time. In and out, 30 minutes, no more. Don't talk to anybody, don't look at the sales, don't try and spend money on stuff you don't need. In, out. Checkout Express was made for me. Boom, get in, get out. Of course, that theory doesn't apply at Home Depot, but that's another story for another day. The second time I had to go grocery shopping was on Friday with my mom. My mom is 95 years old. For my mother, grocery shopping is a social event. You have to look at every vegetable. You have to feel to see if they're fresh or not. Anyone you come upon, you should interact with and talk to, despite the fact that you've never seen this person in your life. The employees at the grocery store are not there to help you. They're to engage in a conversation with you and to be invited to your home for dinner at their first opportunity. As we were making our way through the grocery store, I discovered that Mom was going to go at her own pace. God love her. Which meant that sometimes I was walking with her as she pointed something out to me. Sometimes I was walking ahead of her to find something that she wanted. And sometimes I was just walking behind her and letting her do what she needed to do. Walking with, walking behind, walking ahead. That's how the Holy Father recently described shepherding. Walking with, accompanying. Walking behind, encouraging. Walking ahead, leading. We heard in John's Gospel just a few moments ago about Jesus describing himself as a shepherd. Interesting image. Not exactly the most enjoyable task. Surely not something that was terribly profitable. And it certainly was not something that would give you a lot of notoriety. It wasn't the task that folks would strive for. And yet Jesus recognizes himself as a shepherd and says that his shepherding is different because his is good. His shepherding is distinct from others, suggesting to us that with Jesus there is a unique place in the heart of the shepherd for the sheep. A unique relationship that the shepherd has with the sheep. So much so that the shepherd is willing to go to unusual and extraordinary lengths to care for the sheep. In fact, the shepherd will do whatever is necessary, not only for the well-being of the sheep, but so that the sheep recognize a love that few others can offer. This shepherding, I suppose if you're really going to be good at it, is not going to be something that's easy. But then, I'm not telling you something that you don't already know. You're shepherding constantly, walking with, walking ahead, and walking behind. Maybe it's with the friends that you have. At times you accompany them in life. At times you encourage them. At times you lead them. Maybe it's the folks that you work with. And then maybe it's your grandchildren or your children. You walk with them when they need you by their side. You encourage them when they need a good push. And you lead them, maybe sometimes when they don't want to be.
Yes. So
the purpose and task that we have in common is to bring people to Jesus. That's the endeavor of our lives, isn't it? That's the reason that we shepherd. And you,
okay, so basically,
you may be shepherding
I haven't heard back
a shepherd.
It
It may be that one day it's your son who's standing here. It may be that one day it's your daughter who's helping to shepherd a community of faith.
Dino didn't respond, and if he doesn't have time on his calendar,
it may be that one day your son sits in that seat where Deacon Vito is. It may be that one day it's your daughter or your grandchild who's teaching,
it's not feasible that he just doesn't have
who's visiting in hospitals,
to do this meeting, and she'll just have
who's
to
caring for folks in
It
need,
wasn't a priority until she figured out that
who's
they were
making
parents,
sure immigrants
parents
aren't
were
overlooked.
Not for the doctor.
That sounds pretty preposterous, sure.
They were coming in,
And if you had asked my parents, they would have said the same thing. And if you had asked Deacon Vito's folks, bet you the same thing.
Like I said, if his schedule worked, it would be fun.
Because woven in our shepherding
But I can't touch my computer right now because I'm recording.
is the working of the Holy Spirit.
So
we come to this holy table week after week to be strengthened and nourished by this sacrament so we can find the courage and the strength to open our hearts to that Spirit, to do what that Spirit asks, to go where that Spirit leads. Never be surprised at what the Spirit of the risen Christ does in your life and in the life of your family. Grocery shopping with my mom was a treat. One of these Sundays, I'll tell you about the conversation we had in the cookie aisle. Anyway, walking with her when she needed me there. Walking behind her when she was just navigating on her own. Walking ahead of her when I had to find the butter pecan ice cream. Shepherding. We do it, all of us. Whether it's within the context of the people of God, whether it's in the context of the church in your home, both of us, all of us. Our task is to shepherd, to help people ultimately know Jesus. Do you walk with folks? Do you walk with them when they need you by their side? Do you walk behind them at times to encourage them? Do you walk ahead of them so that they can go with you? You're not too busy to shepherd and lead folks to Jesus, are you?